Welcome to The Explainer. So today, we're unpacking something honestly pretty fascinating from our sources. We're talking about a business model where a tiny file, literally just a few kilobytes, can quietly generate income for you while you're fast asleep. Yep, we're diving into digital downloads in Clipart. It's a wildly incredible space right now, mainly because it totally eliminates the usual headaches of retail. I mean, think about it. No factory, no freight, and absolutely zero inventory to manage. You create a file just once, and it can be bought hundreds or even thousands of times over.
Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our playbook for today's explainer. First, small files, big profits. 2, top-selling digital categories. 3, creating your first files. 4, platforms and storefronts. And finally, number 5, pricing and marketing strategies.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, small files, big profits, and the massive advantage of low overhead.
So the core thesis of this whole business is infinite scalability. Unlike a physical product, stuff that has to be manufactured, stored in a warehouse, and shipped out, a digital file has literally no upper limit on inventory. You could have a customer in New York and another one all the way in Melbourne checking out and downloading the exact same design at the exact same second. And your overhead costs for manufacturing, packaging, restocking, and shipping, well, it remains the most beautiful number in business, $0. There are no courier costs eating into your margins, no shipping delays, no customs headaches to deal with. Buyers get instant delivery right through a download link.
So the really crucial point to take away here is this mantra: design once, sell indefinitely. I mean, once a digital file exists out there, nearly every single additional sale is close to pure profit. Mine is just a few tiny platform and payment processing fees. You literally never have to restock an empty shelf.
Moving on to Section 2, top-selling digital categories, or basically what people are actually buying.
Now, you might be wondering, who on earth is actually buying these digital files? Well, the market demand is honestly massive. We're talking small business owners who need social media graphics, print-on-demand sellers wanting cool graphics for mugs, teachers looking for worksheets, and event planners who desperately need ready-made invitations to just drop into their projects. A well-balanced digital shop captures all of this by combining different types of demand. Some categories are evergreen, meaning things like budget planners or minimalist icons. They just sell steadily all year round. Then you've got your seasonal spikes. Think Halloween or Christmas clip art, which surge at very predictable times. And finally, niche aesthetics, like cottagecore or dark academia, which target super passionate subcultures. The real secret to earning consistently across the whole calendar, it's mixing those steady, evergreen bestsellers with those timely seasonal drops.
Now, what's really interesting about this marketplace data is how consistently these exact categories perform across audiences in the US, the UK, and Australia alike. Just look at business and marketing, for example. Time-poor entrepreneurs are more than happy to throw down a few bucks for social media templates if it saves them effort. Or kids in education, teachers and parents are notoriously loyal repeat buyers. By targeting these specific high-utility categories, you aren't just selling a pretty picture, right? You're actually selling a solution that saves the buyer their most valuable asset, time.
All right, on to Section 3, creating your first files and demystifying the design process.
I know exactly what you might be thinking right now, because there's a super common fear that you need like a fine arts degree or 10 years of Adobe Illustrator experience to actually pull this off. It's probably the most frequently asked question in this entire space: do I need graphic design experience to sell clip art?
No, absolutely not. You really don't need to be the next digital Picasso. Actually, consistency in style matters way more than any formal design training. A small, cohesive collection of designs is always going to outsell a massive, mismatched one, regardless of your background.
Bringing a digital file from just an idea to a sellable product really just comes down to 3 logical steps. Step 1, choose your niche. Don't just guess here, guys. Validate the demand by using Etsy's autocomplete search bar or Google Trends to see what buyers are actually typing in. Step 2 is creating the files. And today, there are some incredibly amazing beginner-friendly tools out there, like Canva, Inkscape, or even AI-assisted platforms that make generating professional assets super accessible. And step 3, which is absolutely crucial, is adding commercial licensing.
When you're exporting those shiny new creations, these are the essential file formats you're going to want to provide. First, a high-resolution PNG with a transparent background, perfect for digital designers. But here's a pro tip for you. Always bundle an SVG format with your PNGs. SVGs are perfect for crafters who use cutting machines like Cricut and Silhouette. By offering both formats together in a simple zip file, you instantly widen your buyer pool to include both crafters and digital designers. It's a huge win.
And hey, remember that step 3 we talked about earlier, the commercial licensing? Well, here's what that actually means. It's simply a plain language statement in your listing that tells buyers exactly what they can and cannot do with your files. Often, sellers will allow buyers to use the designs on physical items they sell, like making a mug or a t-shirt, but they usually strictly prohibit the resale of the raw digital file itself. Including this clear license is a really commonly overlooked step, but let me tell you, it builds massive buyer trust and it will significantly reduce the confusion in your inbox.
Moving right along to Section 4, Platforms and Storefronts. Basically, where to actually sell your files.
So you've got your files ready to go, but where do you actually put them to get eyeballs on them? Well, every new seller faces this core trade-off, the marketplace versus the independent storefront. On one side, we have Etsy. This is highly recommended for beginners because it already has built-in search traffic and existing buyer trust, even though, you do have to deal with transaction fees and some competition. On the other side is your own branded website, something like Shopify or WordPress. Here, you get to keep the majority of the profit and have total control. But, and it's a big but, you are entirely responsible for driving all of your own traffic. The proven strategy here? Usually it's best to start on a marketplace to validate your niche and build up an audience before you eventually expand to your own site.
And finally, Section 5, Pricing and Marketing Strategies, and how to go about maximizing your profit. Because, let's be real, having great files on a great platform doesn't mean a whole lot if the price is wrong and literally nobody knows they exist. Across global marketplaces, pricing for digital downloads tends to follow these standard tiers. A single element might be $2 to $5. A small pack of maybe 10 to 20 items goes for around $7 to $12. And a mega bundle of 50 or more items, that can easily fetch $15 to $25. The huge takeaway here is bundling. Offering themed packs drastically increases your average order value. A customer who came to buy one single digital flower for $3 can very easily be persuaded to buy a 50-piece floral bundle for $15, just because of that massive perceived value.
Now, to get eyes on those awesome bundles, you really want to lean into these core organic marketing channels. Pinterest is fantastic. It acts as a massive visual search engine, which is perfect for showing off mock-ups of your designs on real-world items. Instagram and TikTok are great for quick tutorials and behind-the-scenes process videos. But please don't ignore SEO. Using long-tail, intent-driven keywords like commercial use floral SVG instead of just flower clip art connects you directly with buyers who are actually ready to whip out their credit cards. Finally, start building an email list by offering a freebie in exchange. An email list is an asset you own entirely, which completely protects you from any of those sudden, crazy marketplace algorithm changes.
If you're wondering what the ceiling actually looks like for this business model, check out this real success story from our source material. One creator generated over $100,000 in a single year selling digital downloads. The secret? Well, they didn't just upload thousands of random cheap files. They focused consistently on clear value propositions and buyer benefits. They packaged their designs to solve very specific problems for their customers. A focused, high-value digital product is almost always going to outperform a massive, unfocused catalog of junk. Which brings us to this final thought. We've seen how zero overhead, targeted evergreen niches, and smart bundling can create a highly scalable business. The blueprint is right there. The tools are honestly more accessible than ever. And that global demand, it is out there waiting. So what do you think? Are you ready to turn a few kilobytes into your next passive income stream? Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and I'll see you next time.